Namaste to everybody. Hello. Can you hear me? Somebody texts that there's no sound, but there is. Maybe you should turn it on your device. While we are waiting, a few words about actual things that happen now. And it's not the reason to panic, and it's not the reason for other destructive moods. Better see that samsara is changing. It always changes. And what good is it? We have a great possibility to lose yourself, familiar and pattern itself, because now all these patterns don't work as usual. It can be said entrance into the new era. Recently I read that 2020 year is the beginning of new era and we need to adopt. At least I feel something new, unusual. Feels like it will turn you inside out, or at last you'll become more natural, balanced, more suitable for flow of existence. Today our subject is first stage of meditation. I will tell you about third stage. I guess nearest time we all will meet only online, so we can practice longer. We will practice. We will practice, not only listen to. And now I'll tell about how quickly get calm. First, let's tune up. Sit comfortable. Nothing should disturb you. Try to find comfort. Comfort inside, not outside. This kind of comfort is fresh. And then think, where is it located your mind? In what part of your body? I understand that you maybe know that mind nowhere is located, but now try to feel it. Try to feel in which part of body it is. Can someone here answer me? Where do you feel your mind is located? There are answers in throat, in head. Yes. Upper part of body. First time it might be hard to understand. What does it mean? But just try to feel where is the place where all your attention and awareness are happening. Maybe it's not about everyone. It's just a beginning of practice. But in most cases, it is in the head. If you feel it in your head, try to put it down here in the heart area. Sometimes it might be hard to understand. How can we put it down? Because we don't know what is it. We hardly understood that it is in the head. And now we should put it down. Then you can imagine these senses like triangle. This triangle is downward directed. It has put down. And then there might be two versions. If you feel better, that's good. If you feel worse, that's not good. In the usual sense, it isn't good indeed. Because there is depression, sorrow, and you want to run away, run in some thoughts. Thoughts. And it is the ABC of meditation, but it may concern you, even if you are a great meditator. It will be enough to put your senses down here in the middle of your chest and relax. First time you may feel depression and so on, and you may feel energy impulse to put it away from here, to put it away, to start thinking, recalling, diving into temporal affairs. If it will happen, just relax again and put it down to the chest center. It's not meditation practice. We're just talking about how we can get calm and totally relax. Don't fall in any negative or positive feelings, because now you can get high, everything is brilliant, feeling pure love, shed a few tears, and vice versa. Keep neutrality. Neutrality lies in relaxation. Not in the okay, no more identification, just in relaxation. We are not holding our mind in chest, we just relax. It comes there by itself and everything becomes okay. And if we stay at this level of awareness, there is more quiet, more soberly. It can be said we are resting in the human perception. Human being by itself is calm, kind, heartful. We can hear not only ourselves, but someone else. We don't hurry. We can be present. Then try to relax your belly and keep relax it until sense of mind get down in belly. Don't force it. Let it happen by itself. Just relax your belly. And notice how this process, we can call it grounding, how this process happens. And you become more stable. This present becomes more stable. Stable and lively. You limit nothing and repress nothing. You don't sleep. But it's hardly a wakefulness. It's just staying. And notice that mind almost got in belly. Imagine that calm from belly overflows and mixes with earth. It becomes unchangeable, constant. Make sure it never changes. Make no doubt about it. If you have doubts in the form of some thoughts like, no, I can't, this thoughts free itself. It's just thoughts. And now in this state, but I can't call it state because it's not static. We will be staying in this state several minutes. Realize there is no need to keep anything now. Realize that you don't even need to realize. You don't need any understanding, including you. It can be said that all you realize, and you among it, it's just a version, one of many versions. And no, it no longer need. It can be said that awareness just happens in the form of you and with you. It happens, finds out, and frees itself. realize that what I talk about doesn't need you and doesn't need your realizing, your awareness. Doesn't need you and your realizing. Notice that you and your realizing are just thoughts. It's just ideas mixed together. Try to understand that you are trying to understand by something that doesn't relate to what I'm talking about. It's meaninglessly to understand. And even if you will understand, it means personage is understanding. And personage able to understand anything except it. Realize that it is meaninglessly to try to understand, to try to hold something, or do something at all. First, it's useless. Second, it doesn't have any sense. It's just samsara wheel. It is spinning in the form of thoughts, in the form of thought process. It can be said that what I'm talking about can be called nirvana. Because there is nothing there. Even nothing does not apply to it. And third stage of meditation is first introduction, second bringing body into a condition in which it comes naturally. For some of us, It may seem strange, but I repeat again that it is step-by-step way. The very first stage is dual explanation, but this explanation has method and result. So you should remember that method is if you are in chaotic state, when there is a show in your head, and you think it reality happens, we concentrate and start to look for a place where is our mind is located. Mind's activities happening in head. So you imagine triangle. There is a practice, yoga practice. You do as thus, and put it down. And do it thus. It's a shortcut of what we're doing now. But this motion means nothing for you. You should understand what you do. This move helps to get body grounded and balanced quickly. Literally, this is good and this is evil, or samsara and nirvana, and this is triangle, and it is empty. There is nothing here. This is a symbol, and you put it down into your belly and realize this mind is empty. And the main thing is realize that you are empty above all. Realize that you are not independent personage, not from reality. 100% conceptual, fiction. As sense layer and cognitive layer. It feels like you fall asleep and have a dream that you are watching translation. And you think, I'm watching translation. And someone is speaking, but you can hear nothing. What is he talking about? What is he talking about? And suddenly he says, wake up. And you wake up and, oh, it was just a dream. There was a personage, he was alive. And now you have a dream called My Life, or wakefulness. And this method helps us to understand it faster. You slowly get down here. It's not worth to put your mind down straight to belly, because it will be explosion of emotions and condition. First, we should clean heart area, emotions. It is very simple if you do such practice as loving kindness, compassion practice. You cultivate love of all living beings, not of yourself, but of everything. And then you realize that it is you. You are unimaginable, so much so that you haven't recognized yourself and was thinking that it was someone else, but it was you. Then it's getting balanced, because depression arises then people feel separation, isolation. They want everything only for themselves. They separate, and instead of triangle, a hole comes out, because you don't have knowledge about your nature, don't have vision, don't have experience. You are in trouble, and all you have is just I, for me, give me more and better. For me. And then a virus can find its way into this hole. not coronavirus, but triangle of awareness. And you will see that it was wrong way to live. And it's meaningless, it's just suffering. Suffering and diving into thinking. And notice that a lot of people watch satsangs like for me, especially for me. Sometimes someone comes to me and asks, give me some special practice, special for me. What is better for me? What is better for me? I can say that methods are the same for anyone. All what we are doing now works for everyone. There's no problem. And you practice it, put down and relax. Your heart opens. You feel better or feel how everything is wrong or right. I don't know. In brief, your own schizophrenia. And little by little, relax your belly. And then, don't mistake, you just relax your belly and it comes down by itself. Your awareness, all your experience full of hard feelings. There is a special sign. There is a special sign you are not twitching, nervous. Because if you put it straight to belly, it will be like samsara nirvana. And you will trash about, whip up and down. And here it is okay. Slowly flowing down. You prepared the ground and the nectar flows down. And mind becomes bright. And you see, here it is, this mind, I'm watching it right now. Lucid dream. And make sure it is so. Do not try to run away somewhere because of there is a nightmare, but you realize the nature of this phenomenon. What is the nature of phenomena? It is luminous and empty. It appears and frees itself. Phenomena can be real. They can be real because of their self-liberation. It's just hallucinations in the form of me, my awareness, and things that happen to me. Dream. If we take some, for example, some Sanskrit scripture about how it is in fact, they tell us that Vishnu sleeps and has a dream. In a dream, he sees a lot of living beings which are doing something, watching this translation, watching themselves through different eyes, different awareness, and everyone thinks that it is him. And recognize himself in everything. If you will learn to stay in this condition during our life, you will reach rainbow body. Because everything will turn into light, indescribable. So I offer you to go to this light rather than in coronavirus or panic. It's just a deep dream, but it's funny. It is awakening. Your task is understand that now is the very moment, thriller part of this dream, where I can wake up. Because imagine if there was no coronavirus. There was just spring, and everyone was working and wasting time. Routine. It's not interested. Vishnu doesn't like dreams like that. He can create a new plot by himself. Do you understand what we are doing now? Text, please. What question do you have? Or describe your experience. Better experience. What have you understood? Have you got nirvana? Stuck somewhere in the middle. It's not bad, at least not in the beginning. To go deeper, you should relax. Or understand that there is a personage and he's stuck somewhere. That's personage and that's place where he's stuck. It is hands of one. And he, like a child without toys, imagined personage and lives his life. When it became boring, he created coronavirus. The same one is doing everything, but it's not a personage. But it's all the same. This and that. So you shouldn't relax this, you should relax that. And it will go by itself. It can be said it will fall out of samsara, wake up, and all of it will become a lucid dream. Head gets heavy. It's just tiredness. You should understand. He was writing all the time, and now suddenly stopped. It's like breaking path. Now just need to have a rest. Now it will be a very good possibility. Now it will be a retreat, guys. Strict, worldwide retreat. Such a great time. Those who practice badly will die. Great. I've been waiting a long time about it. Retreat or death? Cool. So you should just have a rest. You will have a possibility. You can do this practice. There will be a record. Hi, if heart is closed, feel nothing in heart but light appears and belly relaxes. So that's okay. What makes you think your heart is closed? Someone gave you a certificate. You get tested and they told you your heart is closed? Sorry. Go away. And how does it close? There's a lock? You just should to bring this awareness here and everything will be alright. It will open step by step. If you think it's closed. I have a feeling that something is going to leave my intestines. It happens, it's okay. Purification. Purification should happen. I'm not joking. This practice turns on all options. And excess things start to go out, leave, or liberate. So you're on the right track. When mind is in the heart, it feels really calm. But then I start to think what I see who watch, and that I see who watch, and then I disappear for a short time. It's not necessary to think about it. These questions appears in order for master can do transmission for someone without knowledge. And then he asks who sees, who watches. But it can turn in certain neuroses. Do not ask anything at all. When you relax and the mind goes down, you do nothing at all. Because you find out that someone was doing something. And it was just ideas, fantasies. Stability, disillusion, but it burns in the chest and empty. It's so for now. Vishnu made a blockbuster with virus. Holy times. Sure. And we'll make three stages, 3 translations, once in a week. I think it will be enough. And I ask you, now we will be sitting 5 minutes. But if you want to join to next meditation, you should practice every day. Today translation is demo version, introduction. You should practice every day a minimum of 25 minutes. Find 25 minutes to do practice. You sit comfortable, realize where's your mind, put it down in the chest, open, relax your belly, and then your mind is blowing, and lucid dream happens. you find out elusiveness that's not separately from phenomena at that right here. If you didn't have such experience, do not believe me. Better do practice and you'll make it. How to correctly quit from this good condition to samsara? Know how? Samsara will come back by itself. At first you will just fall asleep again, like in lucid dream. Oh, this is a dream, just a dream, mother, and forget again. There is the same here. What for do you want to come back to samsara? What will you do there? There is nothing to do in samsara. There is nothing there. Do you understand? There is nothing at all except hallucinations. And these hallucinations reflect you. You become somebody, and it's distortion. And these distortions start to generate another distortions. And then you find yourself in the coronavirus situation. That's how it happens. To make soup. There's no problem. Put your attention down into belly and make a soup. It can be said that you call making soup finds out like that what just happens. But if you don't make it, so it means no need to make it. It becomes certain experience. For example, my wife was going to go to Moscow yesterday. And I said, don't go there. And she said, I will. Everything is okay there. I said, no, better stay. And she stayed. And all events cancelled there. But if she had gone there, she wouldn't have joined to events because of quarantine. If it needs you to make soup, you'll make it anyway. If it doesn't, you will not. Have no doubt, everything is quite simple. You don't need to change samsara. We are not talking about that you should become a superhero, get blaster, and change samsara for better. Everyone thinks so, takes blaster, and it doesn't work. Nothing good comes. We just find out what is happening right now into our mind flow. Mind flow not in reality, but in mind flow. Through this, we perceive reality. Why it becomes hard to breathe when belly relaxes? Is it a somatic block? There is a tension of all central channel. I can say that now I explained whole philosophy of yoga which aims to putting mind down to belly, and not only yoga, but Tao practice too. You should put your mind down to belly to reach liberation. We was doing almost the same. And of course you will meet a lot of tensions. To make it less, do not hurry. Stay first time into the heart center. First it needs to calm heart, to calm your whole being, because otherwise you will be nervous and then everything will ache.
Давайте еще посидим. Окей, готовы?
Let's meditate again. Are you ready? I don't think that your mind now mostly in the head. So we just put our awareness to belly and relax. Then it mixes with earth and stability comes. Stability of attention in which all phenomena are finding out as that as they are. And you don't need to do something unnatural. Wherever you look, whatever it happens, it is the same mind. You don't need to look for something. You know it. Oh, this is mind. And that is mine too. And the one who watch it is also mine. And they both bye-bye liberates. You can't even sleep indeed. To use trendy words, you reach stabilization of awareness. Stabilization of awareness. You clearly realize that you and all these objects are empty and luminous. That it is a lucid dream. Dream. Wherever you look, whatever it happens, it is the same thoughts. You have nothing to lose. You have nowhere to go. You have nothing to reach. And it's so simple. And each time you will reach increasingly spontaneous relaxation and light, soft and clearly awareness. Lightness is that you do not freeze to do practice. It comes naturally. And this awareness without interruptions, because whatever happens, it's all the same. All it has the same nature. And this nature appears, and it's beautiful that it appears that way. Nirvana is not only emptiness, but it is full of everything, absolutely, causes, even things that is beyond causes. And don't be afraid, you may look aside. Try. Whatever you look, whatever you undertake, this is Rikpa, naked awareness, appearing and liberation, disengagement. And whatever pattern appears, state or settled conviction that is 100% is how you think, I can't or I cannot or something else, it liberates. But it's not first stage. Today practice goes well. Do you have any questions? Who sees this? Mind sees this. Like I said, mind sees this. Mind. I explain again. Example from Dzogchen teaching. It says you are not the reflection, and you are not what reflects. You are not who stays in front of the mirror and looks in the mirror. You are mirror. The one who stays in front of the mirror sees. He sees. In turn, this one is reflection of what he sees. How mind remembers and forward. It's causal link, which is called karma. It happens automatically. There is a cause, there is a result. It appears feeling of connection with earth through feet. It's good. It's grounding. All we investigated today is grounding. Coronavirus in mind, but when we put mind down into belly, we dissolve virus, so it dissolves in the reality. Maybe you are a bit incorrectly expressed. If you clearly understand that you are realizing part of mind, that is reflection of it, that what is happening is just a reflection of you, and you have no single existence, real, that you are absolutely unreal personage, then coronavirus exists just in mind. But if you don't understand this and think that you exist like somebody, somehow and somewhere, then coronavirus is not in the mind for you. It is in the external world. And it, bitch, threatens you. More and more people get ill, and maybe you are not exception too. And you should observe measures. But if you realize that it is a dream, there is no need to go outside, because you are all and everywhere. And what for do you go somewhere? And of course there is no coronavirus, and it indeed dissolved in reality. Behind this simple awareness is years and months of practice. Yes. Of course we should understand it, because sometimes somebody asks me, what do you do? And I say, I do nothing. I think I practice a little. But last 8 years I do nothing except practice. Except practice, there is nothing to do. Sometimes I open my mouth and explain meditation. Of course, when man hears, he even can sit like that. For me, it is habitual posture, and I cannot sit on a chair. It's not comfortable for me. And all starts from this. It cannot be that your body is in ruins, but awareness is okay. Then you will have trips, you will be nervous, not stable. And step by step with practice, because sooner or later you will come to practice. There is no end, there is no time. You will come to practice anyway. But I should to motivate you, because I am an example. Good example. I will not be modest. Looking at me and doing practice, you will reach good results. But you should do what is told to you. Usually I see another thing. Someone cannot do or don't want to do it. He don't want it because he is interested in something else. He cannot do it because he also interested in something else. But if you realize that it is all the same, and it's just reflection that generate you, you will see that it is tedious process. It's better to spend years sitting than doing stuff like this. Schizophrenia. I can give it another name. How is ice by itself? I can't understand what is written. Thank you. I feel relaxation and deep calm. Good. Do you want to eat? No, I don't. If you want, have a meal. What's the problem? If it needs, there will be a food. If it's not, there will not be. Just understand, this is another kind of perception. Imagine that you was with a square head, and once someone told you that it wasn't square. Your head is like you have now, and you understand that this head is more comfortable, but square head returns sometimes. There are question appears in square head like, what if there will be nothing to eat? What if something else will happen? If there will be nothing to eat, start to eat prana. If there is food, eat food. What's the problem? It turns that body is in front of the mirror and world is reflection, and I am a mirror. Yes, you are a mirror, but you cannot understand your nature without false eye and reflection of it, because for real you, all of it absolutely irrelevant. This is the meaning of teaching, that you comes to non-duality. Core of non-duality is where is no thirst, there is no second. It's not about the only one of them is. Even if I tell that all, if it is the one, all of it has one nature, it is mind. And mind is empty and luminous, it's just a reflection, where? In the mirror. But without it, you couldn't reach realization. But if you have reached it, you have nothing to understand, nothing to explain. Practice to make it stable. And though it is stable by itself, you practice because nothing else matters. This concludes our Mahayana Sutra. Return from Samadhi. Will online retreat be? Yes, it will. This is what the first stage. Once a week we will do translation like this, but I really ask you to practice, because if you wouldn't practice, second stage, you will watch with such face and understand nothing. O precious and sublime bodhicitta, may it arise in those in whom it has not arisen, but actually those don't exist. May it never decline where it has arisen, but go on increasing further and further. Thank you. Bye-bye. I recommend you to sit home.
И еще меня просили сделать практику Ваджакила, и я подумаю, может быть, мы сделаем. Я напишу, в общем. Все, пока.